Evening, everybody. It is 5:34 on this Thursday evening, and this is your closing comment video number 2078. Okay, so it was an interesting day in the market. We had a lot of economic numbers this morning, and really, as far as seeing big changes when they came out, there weren't any. I mean, the Dow went from up 60 to up 110, and then by the time it opened, it was up 60. Same situation with NASDAQ and with the S&P. Excuse me. The big gainer, again, second day in a row, was the Russell, up 49.38, and that was up 2.45%. Everything else was up less than a percent, most of them right around a half a percent. The Dow was up 0.91, 348.85. The NASDAQ was up a meager 47.03 or 0.30. The S&P was up 29.11 or 0.58. And the transports were up 82.25, which is a half a percent. Advanced declines were pretty decent today without being excessive. 9 to 2 up on the NYSE and 5 to 2 up on the NASDAQ, and volume moved higher again. So we went from 4.7, 4.9 up to 5, up to 5.4, and today we traded 6 billion shares. So pretty healthy. And clearly, these one day moves like we saw the day before yesterday on the CPI information are simply that. They're one day affairs, and we get right back. So, having said that, you can be fairly certain that the next one is going to be more than that, only because I'm resolved to it. We had some earnings tonight, half of them higher, half of them lower. The stocks, that is. Coinbase with a beat and even a profit closed 165.65, up 5.25, and traded as high as 193. The last is 185, up 24.97 or 15.6%. Amat, our equipment manufacturer here in the U.S., chip equipment, that is, with a beat. The stock had closed 187.60, up $1.43, has traded as high as 30, higher than that. 217.39. Last is 210.10, up 23.91 or 12.8%. DoorDash, which the revenues looked okay, but they still had a loss, even though it was not as bad as expected. It had traded 126.29 at the close, up 6.28, and then on the headline rallied up to 129.90, and then when the particulars came out, it headed down to 111.40. The last is 116.20. That's down only 381 or 3%, but that is quite a range, $28 on a $110 stock. And Roku with a beat, but some concern on the street about what happens if Walmart actually buys Vizio and installs a bunch of things on each of these smart TVs. Roku, with a beat on revenues, closed 94.50, up 326, and promptly traded down to 80.51, down 10.79 or 10%. Not as bad as it was. At one point, it was 76.05. So coming back a little, but still 10%. The chart on the screen is one of my two favorites of the day. It's the silver that we bought yesterday down here. This is the weekly. Let me show you what the daily looks like. And we'll take that into a 6-month look. Okay, so yesterday we hit this trend line and rallied higher and closed up on the day and about three quarters of the way, maybe four fifths of the way up on the range. Today, barely an unchanged trade on the low. The high was 2309. The close 2295. That's up 2.5%. And by the way, that's four times what the gold was up today. We were up 56 cents. Those options closed around $1.20. We paid 78 cents for them yesterday. I'm a little concerned about this MACD looking like it wants to roll over. On the daily, however, on the weekly, it doesn't look like that at all. It's rounding up and looks like it wants to break out. So there's a divergence there, but we're in this right. And if it fails up here, then, you know, we'll still have a profit to get out of. And the one that I've been leaning on all year, energy. And looked like we were breaking to the downside the day before yesterday. We did come down a bit. This is the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Okay. We did come down on Monday. Oh, actually, Monday was slightly lower. We got a little bit higher. And then yesterday, we got right into all of these closes, all of this supply, and turned down and closed on the low. Today, we went down again. Even though we have a change in trend here, we did go down and touch this 20-day moving average and bounced up and closed up on the day today at pretty close to the high of the day. So I still like this a lot. On the weekly, it looks like the MACD, which is a longer term indicator on a weekly as far as I'm concerned. The problem is right here. This is 8051. This high, 7965. This one, 7960. This one, 7929. We need to get above those highs and close there tomorrow. Actually, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. We could consolidate for another week, but we do have to close above this 8050 on any weekly closing on a Friday. And, maybe we get up to the 84, 85 area. The long term 5 and 20 week and this orange line, which is the 50 week, all coming together here. And, we resolve to the upside, we could see $85 to $90 oil. Okay, there is an instructional video that I posted this afternoon. You can find it in our Discord room. You can find it on WhatsApp, or it is also listed on our daily note. Be sure and take a look at it. It explains not only why we're in the trade right now, but also a bit of the context of how I choose trades. It's only about 10 or 12 minutes, so enjoy it. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Tomorrow, by the way, we have what do we have? We have housing starts, building permits. We have January PPI and core PPI. And then at 10 o'clock, we have University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey. Have a good evening.